This is a log from my phone starting with March 1st this year, 2020, and going back. And I just want to validate some phone calls that I made during this time period to my father and before. I'm going to go back quite a bit. February 28th. Well, all right, while I'm going through this, I'm going to put on something interesting for you to listen to. Eventually, we're going to get to the part where I was calling my father 1, 2, 3, 4 times a day. And that's the purpose of this, essentially, to validate the truth. There's a lot of deception going on.
I've heard the phrase long-nosed gray, describing the physical.
Those are not the benevolent reticulants.
Okay.
The benevolent reticulants look like children.
So the non-benevolent ones are the long-nosed grays?
That's correct.
That's what I thought.
That's correct. And there's a lot of information that's being. Some people are experiencing real benevolent experiences with them, or they're told they're experiencing benevolent, when in fact they really haven't. They just maybe haven't been regressed or taken deeply into their subconscious to know what is happening. They're incredible masters of mind manipulation. But anyway, their race is dying. They have been so genetically altered by the Orion group that they cannot reproduce. So they were told by the Orion group to come down in here, to come in here. This is how it's been related to me, to come in here and set the stage to break down the social structures so that when the Orion group and the Draconans come back, there are two classes, royalty and workers, which is exactly what they're doing.
Did you see that agenda happening right in the United
Exactly.
States since the beginning of the Reagan administration?
This is where the focus has been. It's been on the United States, singly. And there's been a reason for that, which we'll cover in just a little bit. Let me get my thoughts out here. Which is exactly what the Greys have been told to do. And they're doing it. In the meantime, they themselves have their own agenda. They see us because of our genetic stock.
All right, here we go. January 27th. This is
and the racial
before all
memories
the
of trying to breed, to cross
stuff started.
the genetic bridge, so that they as a race can have enough genetic stock to continue to propagate their race, which
6,
according
7,
to the
8
Andromedans,
times
they're
that day.
destined for extinction. What they're doing
9
is not going to have
times
any
that
long-term
day.
effects to propagate their race. So they're desperately trying to do what it is that
2,
they're
3.
trying to do.
That's because he was having
before
medical problems.
all the other two groups get here. The Greys also themselves want to be free from the manipulation of the Orion group, just like we as a race want to be free of their manipulation. So there's this incredible triangle of crap that's hanging all over us, and all these hidden agendas and
3 times.
just brainwashing
twice.
and bizarre belief systems that are being thrown at us.
Dad. Every single day. Dad.
Not only the good ones and the bad ones, they should all just leave.
Dad.
Which is ultimately what the Andromedans want. But unfortunately, that isn't going to happen right now. Not until some changes occur.
We have to begin to raise our consciousness.
Right, we need to. And the first thing we need to do is we need to stop warring with each other. We need to come together as a race, and no matter what happens, we need to stop all of the political garbage and say, look, when it comes down to the bottom line, all we have is each other as a race. Period. And this is our planet, this is our home, and there's enough of us that are polluting the planet that we need to stop.
You see
Because
that?
if we don't stop polluting the
How many
planet,
times that day?
Rick, we're not going to have a place
I
to
can
live.
take you back to 2017 or
Is
further.
there an Earth quarantine that the renegades
I haven't gone back as far as I can go yet.
Yes.
And what was that quarantine?
The quarantine was, they were supposed to, well, it's the same quarantine that evolves, that any other evolving planet has. No intervention with an evolving race. But because of our genetic stock, the Greys did it. Now, but they did it in such a way that they didn't totally violate our free will. You know, they dangled a technological carrot to the government. And the government took the bait. They said, sure, you know, for their own reasons, they took the bait. And there was an exchange of technology, you know, and there was a treaty that was signed. And this is a dilemma that the Andromedan Council has. You know, if the United States military had said, go away, the Greys would have had to have left.
So was this the Air Force Base situation or the Eisenhower situation where he had representatives? Is this the one that took place in the 50s?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And this
There
is
was that
the
dad bank back there.
That's true, and there was
We were
also
taking
two
care of
groups there
business.
as well. The 7 from Sirius B who are still here were also witnesses to this, to add credence to it.
Okay.
So,
Now,
and they're also, now just to add to this, the Andromedans have also said that in 1933, when the Greys really first got here, that they had actually approached the Germans, and the Germans
way.
said, no,
Dad,
you're out of here. We already have an agreement, and apparently the Germans were in touch with Giza intelligence.
This is around Christmas time.
So the Greys left. They didn't pursue it at all. And they found their next opening here in the United States.
let's go digress just a moment. You mentioned Sirius B. They have a relationship with the Dogon tribes in Africa, correct? Is that correct?
Yes, I understand that there is some ancestral genetic connection there.
Okay. And does that play a part in what's going on here on a global level, or is that just a kind of a minor sidelight?
I don't think at this point they give a damn about the Dogons or the humans at all. They all have their own agendas. And the fact that the way we're being treated, and the fact that there's like no supportal information coming out of our government, or any truth that they even want to discuss, like just coming to the people and saying, look folks, we screwed up. We need your help. We need to raise a consciousness and start implementing. The fact that they don't even want to do that, you know, tells you really, you know, where they're at. What I do know about the Syrians is that between Sirius A and Sirius B, there's a civil war going on there. And a lot of that, and there are also 21 other systems. There's war going on in Perseus as we speak. And 21 other star systems are also looking at the potential. And it has to do with the fact that there is now an uplifting of energy in our universe that's occurring, and the two positives, fear and love, are just banging themselves at each other. And the intensity is growing every single moment.
So
and we're just a microcosm of that.
Now, as you're disseminating all this information to us, we should look at all this information in the spirit of love.
Back to November
so
now.
Feed any energy into the spirit of fear.
Love is the answer. That's the bottom line. Love is the answer. Love does conquer all. Love does move mountains. It can make the shifts in consciousness, but it starts number one with ourselves. You know.
So even all this is going on around us, we just need to remember to focus on love and
love of self and love of earth, love of race. That's right. That's right.
Now, when did the Zeta Reticulans begin to create their genetic atrocities? Where did this take place on Earth, and what have the results been?
Well, it's occurring everywhere. Much of it is occurring underground. Some of it's occurring in the oceans. Some of it's occurring on the moon. Some of it's occurring on Phobos, the moon of Mars. It's happening in a lot of different places.
Is that an artificial moon?
Yes, it's absolutely. It's so
All right, I could go on and on.
Completely artificial. It was brought here from Earth to
At least every day.
Apparently between 11 and 12,000 years ago.
For the purpose
of being a satellite in a base.
Okay, that goes all the way back to
October 31st. being operational again. And I cover this in the series of 8. It came from a star system called Choctaw. That's
Right.
for a word.
And then we
that's the
switch
word
to
they
my
use,
other
Choctaw.
phone,
And it
where I
was the
can show
17th
you
planet
up
out
to
of a solar system
16
that had 21
times a
planets,
day.
and it was one of 4 moons. And it was brought here.
All right.
It's
Enough of this.
it is older than the Earth. There are ruins all over it. There are bases underneath it. It's everything that we're told it isn't. So that's a whole unique story unto itself.